My wife was living a double life our whole marriage.
She's got the best of both worlds.
You might find my story hard to believe because it's too crazy to be believable. Too many things happen to put all in one post, but I will do my best. My now ex-wife and I were married for 16 years.
Dang.
That's a while. We had rough patches in our marriage, but we always made it work. We had many happy years too. By the way, this comes from Eastern European SD. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So about 2 years ago was when the big drama started. We had what seemed like a small rough patch again. Nothing big, just a regular family disagreement and family business decisions that we were trying to resolve. But I felt in my gut that there was something else behind our fights. Normally in our marriage, she was always the smarter one who made the first step towards peace. That trait kept hers and our family together, while my ego was always too big to make the first step. Okay. I mean, hey, at least he's admitting it. It was good. Okay. But this time was different. She showed no sign of backing off. She stopped trying to solve our disagreements and started staying late at what I thought was her friend's house.
Oh, okay. So now they've had a disagreement in their marriage. And usually he's just like, oh, well, she always solves it. She's always the calm, collected one. And then he's like, this time she wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it.
I'm not going to pick up that slack.
Not me.
Do you see an ICU about what her friend's house is?
Yeah.
When I realized things were getting worse, I stepped over my ego and tried to apologize. To my surprise, she didn't respond to my efforts to make things better.
OP's like, I actually did it this time.
I did something.
She didn't like it. I tried really hard this time.
I tried once in our 16 years of marriage.
And I waited until it got really bad, but I did it. Why isn't she happy?
Well, I started to suspect infidelity, but had no proof. When my jealousy punted in, I even started spying on her for a couple of days. But then I decided that wasn't the right thing to do and let things resolve naturally, and that would be more honorable. So I started doubting my suspicions and thought I was just being paranoid. So Opie's kind of back to baseline. Shortly later, he texted me a question about our family business disagreement. When I texted back with business decisions she didn't agree with, she replied with an ultimatum. And we know that an ultimatum is the start of a blossoming relationship, right?
Always.
Ultimatums and relationships go like cookies and cream. They go like war and politics.
War and peace.
It basically said that either it had to be her way or we needed to end everything and divorce. So she's put an ultimatum right in there. What I know now, 2 years later, made me realize that this argument was only an excuse to initiate divorce. She didn't have the guts to tell me the true reasons. I didn't give in because the disagreement seemed too small to go separate ways over. I thought she was bluffing and being childish. So I bluffed back and agreed to divorce. Wait.
Opie's like, I thought she was bluffing about the divorce, so I said, yeah, I'll divorce you. Opie's consistently shown that he is not going to be the first one to apologize ever.
I don't think anyone deserves to be cheated on.
No, not at all.
To be clear. But I don't think Opie's doing a great job of making himself not a person that someone would want to cheat on.
Well, the point, it's okay. I don't think that's it. There's no reason for anyone to be cheated on.
That's what I said.
But I think the problem here is that he's just bad at relationships.
Yeah.
What Sam's saying is he's not being very defensible to getting cheated on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there was a person that, like, there are ways to be better at not being cheated on, and one of them is being good at relationships.
This is a bad no.
All right, yeah, Sophia's shutting it down.
No.
Smart.
No.
Smart. But OP, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I thought giving in would show weakness and make things worse.
Stop. Who is this? It's like, anytime I apologize, it's weak.
This was how I was raised. I believe the man should be the breadwinner, and the woman should put family first and nurture love and peace in the home.
Yikes.
Once the divorce train started rolling, ambitions took over, and there was no resolution in sight.
Dude, I can tell why your relationship didn't work out.
We lived for the first year while a divorce was finalized, then lived another year separately and officially divorced. Since I didn't know the true reasons for divorce, I convinced myself that family business was the real reason, even though the disagreement wasn't big enough to justify divorce. I started feeling guilty as if I had chosen my business over my family. The divorce court let me keep the business since I was more capable of running it, and to compensate for my guilt, I chose a very generous financial settlement for my wife. I willingly paid 4 times the amount of spousal support and child alimony required by local law.
What?
Okay.
Hey, defense. This is all about defense.
Oh, he's like, no, you don't understand. I'm winning.
I'm going to give her so much money.
I'm going to give her so much money, she won't even know what to do with it.
I wasn't a wealthy businessman, but the amount I decided to pay allowed her to live comfortably, stay in the same house, and keep our daughter in the same school, even though it meant I had to work more and struggle financially. I don't know if you had to do that, OP. Even though our divorce started with drama and anger, a few months into the separation, my wife started showing signs of regrets. Her temper gradually cooled down, and she actually started being nice to me. A week before the final divorce court date, she even jokingly hinted that we could skip it and save the lawyer's fee. So maybe finally OP's bluff is working. You know, OP, he just had to wait a while. Yeah, he's playing the long game.
Well.
Look who decided to show up to divorce court. Yeah, crawling back, trying to get out of divorce. I don't think so. I'm going to bluff even harder. I thought things had gone too far and that finalizing the divorce was the only right thing to do. We got officially divorced and stayed separated for another year. Her signs of regret only grew stronger. She started inviting me to dinner for our daughter's sake. I always turned down her advances.
I'm not going to let her win.
Fast forward to recent days. Okay, we're getting caught up to the present. One evening, I got a text from her asking if it would be okay for her to come over with her girlfriend to have drinks.
Friend that's a girl.
I don't know.
I think it's friend that's a girl.
Maybe it's an actual girlfriend.
Could be.
I was feeling very down that day, and to my own surprise, I agreed. After a night of drinks and conversation, my ex-wife's girlfriend started talking to me while my ex was in the bathroom. She told me how my ex missed me, how she thought and talked about me all the time, how much she cried about me, etc. Long story short, my ex and I ended up sleeping together that night at my place. Okay, so they're canoodling.
Okay.
The next day, all the it wasn't supposed to happen drama started. She said she needed to think about what happened. I felt that I missed her a lot, and I wanted to forget the 2 years of separation and start fresh. I thought this long separation had been good for both of us, allowing us to realize how much we loved each other and reflect on our mistakes. But the next day came the shocker.
Uh-oh.
Put the ICU in the chat if you know what the shocker is.
Ruh-roh.
She called and said we needed to talk. When we met, she revealed that she had been living with a man under the same roof for close to 2 years.
Okay, so the whole time of the separation.
Yes, the whole time of the separation.
Is there any crossover?
She had been pregnant with him a year ago, but lost the baby in the early stages. She told me she never loved him and was always dreaming about getting back together with me. According to her, this guy was extremely nice in the beginning and got her attention by overwhelming her with attention and gifts. Shortly after, he became very controlling and emotionally harmful. I understand that my story is hard to believe.
Not really.
How could I not know? The thing is, our family consists of immigrants from Europe, and we don't have any family members here who could have told me. Family friends weren't there to inform me either, because as happens in divorce, you don't only lose your spouse, you lose your friends too. One lesson I learned from this experience, family is important, but you have to build your own friendships too. Not just family friends, but friends of your own who will be there to support you no matter what. Being in a state of shock, but moved by her honesty, I accepted her story. I think this isn't the end of the story.
I think she's lying.
I think 2 years. I think 2 years is the tip of the iceberg.
Dude, I think she's lying, and I think OP sees this as, well, I finally won. She came crawling back, and now she'll do whatever I say.
So are you seeing a little bit, my cat's name is Karen, says narcissist. Are you seeing a little bit of narcissism in OP?
I think so. I think that he can't even fathom that she's like lying to him. He's like, I'm outsmarting her at every turn.
I don't know if I see that as
what it feels
much.
like.
I feel like I see someone who is bad at relationships, bad at saying when they're wrong, which I don't think he's gotten better at that in the last 2 years.
He's gotten better at all.
I think she's also lying. Yeah, it doesn't mean she gets to cheat on him, but I also think she is lying. I think 2 years is the tip of the iceberg. Gather in, folks. I think it was for 14 years. I think it was for the entirety of the relationship that she had.
I think it was 3.
You think there was a little bit of an overlap? I want to say it's the whole thing. But let's see what actually is true. So I asked her to move to my place immediately to avoid further abuse because the guy that she is with,
She's still with him.
she's still with him. There's overlap. There's overlap. I know. It was so naive of me to make that decision on the spot, but I was overwhelmed with emotions and couldn't think clearly. The next day, I got another shocker. In a long conversation with her, I caught her in a lie. When confronted with her own story not making sense, she revealed that what she told me wasn't actually accurate. The truth was that this man didn't show up in her life after our separation. He appeared a month before we split.
Ooh.
Remember, that was the month that things with that business disagreement changed, when she suddenly didn't try to find common ground and instead stood her ground.
Yeah.
She had started cheating on me with him a month before we divorced. Now it all started making sense. The real reason behind her fighting about business and other things was her own infidelity. It was all an excuse to blame everything on me. Now she's begging for forgiveness, and I don't know how I'll be able to forgive her after so many lies. One thing I know for sure is that she loves me, but that doesn't make it easier to forgive. It's the opposite. How could she betray me in such a twisted manner? I blame myself for not showing her enough affection and attention, thinking that this was the trigger that caused her to drift away. I was too concentrated on supporting the family financially and forgot to nourish the emotional part of it. Here is my story. I spilled my guts here, and somehow it made things easier putting it all into words. Thanks for reading it all, and thanks for the advice you guys will send me. We got some comments. We got some updates. But what do you think? Is this relationship salvageable?
No, you guys have been separated for 2 years. You found out that she cheated on you right before you got separated. Let's stay separated. You didn't have a good marriage before. You certainly won't after.
Yeah. And I don't think he's gotten better at like admitting fault either. Like, not saying that he is, I don't think he is completely to blame, but I don't think he is blameless in the marriage falling apart. Obviously, she is way more to blame for actually cheating, but I don't think he is ready for a relationship. I think he needs to learn to own up to when he makes poor decisions.
Yes.
And I think she needs to learn to not cheat.
Yeah.
Or, from the words of Samuel Donner,
Oh, God.
cheating makes relationships stronger. So they could come through this and actually be stronger. You guys are forgetting that part.
That came with a lot of baggage in that thing. What I said was,
It makes it stronger.
if someone cheats in a relationship and then they choose to stay together and actually work on things that cause that cheating, it can make a relationship stronger. But I don't think generally people should stay together through cheating, because it's very hard to trust someone after that and almost impossible to build back that trust.
Yeah, the thing is that OP already, was always trying to one up his ex-partner and using things like, oh yeah, it wasn't I'm winning, blah, 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 blah. And so now that he actually has something over her, he's never going to admit fault.
No. Yeah, I think Casey Roberts agrees with Sophia. Both of them are great at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, poetic.
Nice.
But comment 1, but whilst you were away being a man and providing for your family as a man should, she wasn't being a wife to you. She cheated on you with someone else. She tried to replace you because she thought she had found someone better. For 2+ years, she didn't care how much she hurt you. Imagine the nights you spent crying, wondering what you did wrong. She was in bed with that guy then. You speak about what you didn't do, and believe me, men are not perfect, but as long as you tried to put a roof above your kid's head and food on the table, you deserve praise. Don't listen to the spiel you have told yourself. You do not sound like a bad person. The fact that you gave 4 times alimony proves this. You didn't deserve this. I don't think OP's a bad person, but I think just because he's financially generous doesn't mean he was emotionally generous.
Yeah.
And I think there are many dimensions of a relationship, and he even admits like he was financially there for his family, but he was not emotionally there.
Agreed.
And I think that like to get to a place where you can have a better relationship, you're gonna need that emotional maturity.
For sure.
If you truly were horrible, she would have divorced you a long time ago and not cheated on you. Doesn't take 16 years to realize someone is horrible. The ruse of her friend coming over to yours is all BS, bro. She regrets shacking up with a new guy and realized what she lost. Do you think for one moment, if he was a decent, successful guy, she would be back talking to you? I know it hurts, bro, and I'm here for you, even as a stranger. But she didn't care for you and doesn't care for you. All it is grass isn't greener. She realized what she lost. But that doesn't mean this won't happen to you again. What happens the next time or the time after that? You have two paths. You can either try to resolve your issues and live with this for the rest of your life, constantly fearing she will cheat on you again, or you can move on with your life, start afresh. One thing I find is most people are so scared of being alone, they choose to be with anyone, even a manipulative cheater. You are better than that. You have already given her an unwarranted sum for the alimony, money she has undoubtedly spent on her new man. Please don't give her your dignity. Walk away, set an example for your kids. You need to find yourself, start a sport, get a hobby, open a business. The amount of time you have invested in her needs to be put elsewhere to more productive means. I know it's easy for me to say, but I'm giving you the perspective from the other side, the side you're not seeing. And that is where that story ends.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, I think OP
has a lot to learn.
I think OP has a lot to learn. I don't think he's ready to jump back into this relationship.
No.
I think it would be a very bad idea. Sweet Memory says paycheck father/husband. Yeah. I mean, I think because a father/husband provides financially doesn't mean that they're giving everything that a relationship needs.
No. And he was like, yeah, and I did more than they asked. So I'm the best there ever was. And it's like, okay, you're providing financially, but clearly haven't done.
He did admit that he wasn't there for them in the a way that he should have been.
No,
emotionally.
exactly. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he hasn't provided the emotional support to anyone. And I think that while I absolutely agree, don't get back with your ex because she cheated on you and that's terrible for that. I think that you as an individual have a lot to learn about how to be there for your kids, how to be there for a future partner, and how to be there for yourself.
A to the men. A to the men. But I think that is where this story ends, but not this stream. We got another story right for you.
My fiance has been lying to me for months.
Get the liar. Burn them at the stake.
Trigger warning mentions of substances. So I met my now fiance, female 26, about 3 years ago through mutual friends of ours. She was very innocent, didn't drink much, didn't smoke, never did substances. We had a really good relationship and everything was going great. Hence why I asked her to marry me.
Ooh.
We moved in together around the same time too. She has a daughter, 7, that lives with us as well. By the way, this comes from Ages Nameless. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So around 6 months ago, my fiance starts going out drinking with her friends often, which is totally fine. I always offered to pick her up if she's stuck too. However, it became more and more often, from once every 2 months to every single weekend without fail. Then she started staying out overnight, but she always told me where she is and was always back around 9 a.m. I started to worry because this just wasn't usual behavior for her. Even though she told me where she was, it was very unusual for her to act like this. So cut forward to maybe 3 months after the first time she stayed out all night. She goes out with her friends and again stays out all night. This time, though, she didn't come home in the morning. There was also no contact from her at all. So naturally, I contacted her friend Pia via phone, who she was out with. They said, we left her at the bar with her friend Logan, male 26, who I had never heard of before.
Ooh.
Who's Logan?
Also, I feel like that friend maybe was tattling.
We left her with Logan.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know Logan?
Logan?
Oh, he's like
That's
super
strange.
hot.
I thought that OP would have told you about Logan.
Yeah, I mean they're always together. I mean, and they're always like mooching.
This guy had never been mentioned. My fiance was the type of girl to never be around another guy. I didn't know this guy's full name, so I couldn't contact him. Her friend, who I was on the phone with, also said, I have something else to tell you too. Your fiance has been doing substances for a while. We left her with a guy who she buys it off. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Bad
no.
friend.
Bad friend.
Bad friend.
No. And you know what happens to the people that they buy it from.
No.
And what happens?
They hook up. And then
Oh.
they have a kid. And then they have a family of 4, and then
one of them
moves
becomes
to,
a producer.
One of them becomes a producer in LA. That's how that happens.
This is the origin
I've
story.
seen this before.
I've seen this movie.
I know the signs. So my head started spinning. I was worried about where she was, but also what she was doing. Again, this was a girl that would never, ever be near another guy and never do substances, so I was perplexed. About 12 noon, after I had exhausted all my options, contacting all of her friends and family to ask if they had seen her, all saying they had not, I started to get really worried. Maybe rashly, I contacted the police to report her missing. At this point, I was on the verge of tears as I thought she could be passed away.
Oh, geez.
It may have been irrational, but I was genuinely worried. I mean, you just found out that she's with like a substance dealer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would go straight to she's like passed away.
No, but
I would be thinking like,
I think
oh,
OP's
she's
just
probably,
like, where is she?
probably doing body lines off of each other's booty cracks.
Oh, I hate that.
I know, me too. I don't want it any more than the next guy.
But you brought it into existence.
Yeah,
I
why
didn't
did
bring
you
it.
say
That's
it?
just things people do on the weekend.
No. Once I had officially reported her missing, I then had to contact her parents and tell them the same thing. She didn't come home. I cannot contact her, etc. They were wailing down the phone to me, crying and screaming. Another 3 hours pass. Her mom constantly ringing for updates when my fiancé decides it's time to come home. She walked through the door and I was relieved, but also furious. I walked over to her and gave her a hug, but demanded to know where she had been. I felt like I deserved to know. She told me, I stayed at Pia's house. The friend of hers I had spoken to hours before.
Oh my God.
I
Get your
knew.
story straight at the very least.
Yeah, I didn't even like talk to Pia about this.
Oh,
I knew this wasn't true as I had had a conversation with Pia. So I told my fiancé, I know you're lying. She said, I swear down on my daughter's life that's the truth. Dang, your daughter's
Your
gonna
daughter
pass
is-
away. I said again, I know you're lying as I've spoken to Pia and she's confirmed that she left you in the bar. I asked, who were you with when you left Pia? She said, I was alone. I promised I was alone. Again, I said, I know this is a lie. You were with Logan. Who is he to you? She said, how do you know? I said, Pia told me. Anyway, I won't go into specifics of the whole conversation, but she continued to lie.
yeah.
Said
She does
was-
not sound
yeah.
like a good person
No,
to be around.
or a good liar.
Or a good liar, yeah.
Said she was only with Logan for 20 minutes. Then it was an hour. Then it was, I don't know how long. She eventually told me that she stayed at her friend Laura's house.
This is just a lie. You're just like, you've
She's like,
lost all
"Logan,
credibility
no."
with the first lie.
Yeah, she's, Logan? No. Pia,
Laura.
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 She
She
must
gets
have got the L's.
confused all the time.
Yeah.
Dyslexic of the mind.
I said, is that the actual truth? She said, I promise that's the truth. So being the silly man I am, I believed her.
No.
Dude, what? You just caught her in like 6,000 lies.
Casey Roberts says, Trickle Truth Master. This is Trickle Truth 101 right here, right? If you have someone who you know is lying to you with their first statement,
Yeah.
and you know is lying to you with their second statement, what they're going to do is they're just going to find the like lie that you can believe.
Yeah.
They're just going to go down. They're going to keep lying until you're like, oh, I guess I can believe that lie. They're not telling you the truth.
They ain't telling you the truth. I'll
They
tell you
ain't
that.
telling you the truth.
I also asked her about the substances. She lied, shocker, and said she had only done them twice and she regretted it both times. I knew this wasn't true due to my conversation with Pia. She still to this day tells me it's just twice. But the fact is, her friends rang me and told me that she is always doing substances, and that leads me to believe that only doing them twice isn't true.
And that means she's always hanging around Logan.
Yep.
Because also she's probably getting that dealer boyfriend discount. You know?
Anyway, cut to 2 weeks ago, we were out with her friends, and I had too many drinks. And I asked her friends, where did my fiancé stay that night? I asked 3 of her friends. All 3 of them told me a different story. Not one of them told me
Bad
the same
friend.
story she told me. So I brought it up to my fiancé, probably the wrong time to do it when I was wasted. I said, I asked all of your friends where you stayed that night. All of them told me a different version of events. What is the truth? Only Pia's a good person here.
I haven't been through a situation exactly like this, but like somewhat similar. And when you catch someone in a lie about something,
Yeah.
and they continue to lie, confronting them, I do not think does anything good for you. Like maybe you get to the truth, but the fact that they were lying consistently shows you their character, and that's not someone you can engage with in a relationship with, because a relationship requires integrity, honesty, and truth. And like, this is not what you're getting. So no matter what the truth is, you know that you've gotten lies. That is enough to like put the relationship on some serious pause. At the very least, I mean, maybe you could do counseling, but it doesn't even seem like she's open enough for you to get to that point. So it might just be the end. Yeah. Okay. Billy Time says the skirt story. Yes. Y'all know about the dress story. Of course. I always bring that up.
One of her friends, Raya, said she stayed at her house. Another friend, Tatiana, said she stayed at Logan's, the guy's house. And the third friend said she stayed in her mom's shed. I hate that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Didn't like that.
Casey.
I didn't like that. Didn't like that.
This is not my words. But Casey Roberts says it's $100 for the bag, free if you snort it off my sausage, from Logan.
Shame on you.
Oh,
Casey,
man.
come on.
So I questioned her on it. I said, are any of these stories true? She said, yes. One of them is. You pick.
You decide.
I don't know.
Which one of these is true?
One of these.
Can you click on the one that's true?
Oh, I was going to do.
Logan, no swiping. Logan, no swiping.
One of these doors tells the truth, and one of them lies. I asked which one. She said she stayed in. She went, no. OP goes, which one? And she goes, I stayed in my mom's shed. That one's true. Now,
wow,
personally,
I really believe her.
Yeah, I said, I don't believe her. I asked why she would need to lie about where she stayed if she stayed in her mom's shed. She said, I didn't want to disappoint you. She said she thinks she was spiked and couldn't remember where she lived, but could remember her mom's address.
Oh, my God.
This is the story she is stuck with. She stayed in her mom's shed. She had only done substances twice, and she was only with Logan for a bit, but didn't stay at his house. So now on Monday of this week, she said she's going out with her friends on Saturday. Naturally, I'm worried about this. After everything that has happened, I'm worried, but I said, no problems. Go out, enjoy yourself. Inside, I didn't really want her to go out, but I'm not here to control her and tell her she can't go out. I just asked her respectfully after everything that has happened if she could please come home after her night out.
Bro, why are you still engaging in a relationship with her?
Yeah, you gotta call this wedding off, dude.
Cut this off.
Call
this is so bad.
I feel like this isn't a big ask, as my thoughts are you would want to come home to your fiancé. She tried to tell me from her point of view that if she stays at her friend's house and tells me that, it isn't a big deal, as she is telling me where she is. I tried to explain to her that after everything, I have some trust issues.
No, dude, OP's in love.
OP's blinded.
Man, OP's blinded. You know, hey, dude, been there, man.
Rough. She just laughed at me, like laughed directly in my face. She said she understands that I have trust issues, but said if she's having a good time with her friends, she doesn't want to come home just because I want her to be at home. Just because you want to hang out with me doesn't mean I'm gonna.
Oh.
It's not like you're my fiance. Oh, sorry. It's, you are my fiance. My bad. She isn't going to ruin her night out because I want her home. I feel a lot like my feelings are invalid because she wants to have fun with her friends, and I would be getting in the way of that. I mean, the only thing you're getting in the way of is her and Logan.
Yeah. And that sniffing sausage.
Yeah. I'm not a controlling person. I don't have access to her phone. I don't know her code for it either. I have never looked through her phone, but since this has all happened, she is ultra protective of her phone.
Because she's texting Logan. Getting those free deals.
She's cheating.
Sausage snorter.
Yeah, the Casey Roberts special.
Which she never was. She's always texting or messaging 24/7. The phone does not leave her side. She even puts it on her under her pillow when she sleeps at night to keep it protected.
Dude, that's
the biggest red flag I've ever heard of.
Okay.
Whoa.
I know there exists people that are private, people that don't want to share their locations with me, but
I don't accept that.
I think they're
Mom,
what are
share
they hiding?
your location with me, Mom.
What are you hiding?
Dad, share your location. Why don't my parents share their location with me?
If you're not planning a surprise birthday for me, you shouldn't be hiding your phone.
I agree.
What about Christmas?
No, Christmas isn't that important.
Christmas gift?
No, I mean maybe a little bit. But
what if we're on the way to find Santa?
Honestly, you probably don't even need to hide your phone that much to plan a surprise birthday for Sam. Very easy to surprise him. Also, she deletes messages on her phone often too. I have seen her do it. She says it's part of her OCD, which I understand. But she's constantly deleting messages. I'm not sure if I've just noticed it more because there is a lack of trust, but it feels like she's deleting messages constantly, multiple times a day. She will send a text, then immediately delete the text chain. It gives the impression that she's hiding something, even if that isn't her intention. It's her intention. Her intention is to hide something.
Dude,
because she's hiding something.
My guy, you gotta nut up and get out of this thing.
This whole theme of the episode is playing defense.
What do you mean?
Like the guy before this did not do anything to help out the relationship. This guy's just kind of letting this happen, not being confrontational. Like, hey, why are you deleting that? What are you kind of deleting or being suspective in any way?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like at this point, OP is just shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm sure she's telling me the truth. In her words, she didn't lie about doing substances. She evaded the truth.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't get arrested because I ran away from the cops. We had a conversation the day after she had done them before I knew she was taking them. I said I would never do substances again. I did them when I was a teenager. It doesn't appeal to me. And she said, I would never do them either. No, she's like, I would never do them either.
Yeah, while on substances.
Just the day before, though, she was doing them. So her thought on it is she didn't lie, as I didn't directly ask her if she had done them. She just evaded the truth. By the way, you should never evade full episodes just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this silly story.
This is ridiculous. I mean, I feel like, I guess he's gonna get some advice from the internet right now. But dude, break up. There is nothing to be done here except to break up, move on, and move to greener pastures.
Literally.
Start lifting. Go to the gym.
Man.
Get a hobby. Go surf. I actually think surfing is where I've had my best luck with random flirtation, and so I feel like you could meet someone new there.
I don't like surfing.
Rockwall.
Rockwall works.
Rockwall would work specifically for you because there's so many boys at the wall.
Oh, how do I climb this wall?
No, I know how to climb the wall.
No.
I know how to climb the wall.
That's them.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And Sophia goes, let me show you.
Yeah, let me show you.
Let me flash you right now.
I
That's
do
a
that.
rock climbing term, by the way.
Let me what?
It's
a flash. It means like to do it immediately. It's weird. So my questions are, is it okay to not trust my fiancé? Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, please don't trust her.
What do you mean? Is it normal for wanting her to come home after a night out? Not wanting her to lie about where she's been and who she's been with? Lastly, is it okay for feeling uncomfortable that she's constantly on her phone, texting, messaging 24/7 and deleting all her messages? What should I do?
OP, you know what to do.
My brain is telling me to leave the relationship.
Yes,
so
listen
toxic.
to your brain and not your wiener.
Right. The lying, the deception, the clear lack of respect for my feelings. My heart is telling me to stay with her. In all honesty, I love her. I love her daughter too. I see her as my own daughter and protect her as if she was my own too. Any advice, guidance, anything at all, please help me.
Break up. It still worked.
Woo.
Yeah.
Easy answer.
Break up.
She's lied to you The thing is that, like, sometimes we have stories where someone's lying and the person's like, yeah, I didn't realize until later. You know.
You know.
You know she's lying. You know she's lying. So how are you not going to use that information?
But that's where that story ends. Let us know what you think. Do you guys think do you guys think that he should break up with his partner? I certainly think so.
Awkward Turtle says, poor naive guy. Is this his first relationship? I think this is his first day on Earth.
My childhood friend refused to forgive my wife for what she did.
What did she do?
My wife, 32 female, and I, 34 male, have been married for 6 years together for 10. We have a 4-year-old son. A few years ago, my close childhood friend, 34 female, got married. We've been extremely close since we were kids. Both our families were dysfunctional in different ways. And at one point, my dad cheated on my mom with her mom. And they got married. Divorced a year later. And we basically ended up being abandoned by both sides. What a sentence.
Dang. See, that's what that other guy thought was a crazy story. Like, this is the crazy story that other guy thought his story
this is
was.
crazy. Through all that, me and my childhood friend became close with each other. She even got 2 tattoos that relate to our bond. I would have gotten a tattoo too, but I'm sort of scared of needles. By the way, this comes from Haunting Lime 6836. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So my wife was actually close to my friend too and never showed signs of being insecure about our friendship until the postpartum hit. So this childhood friend is a lady and OP is a man.
Has 2 tattoos.
Has 2 tattoos.
That references their bond.
A little close.
Unreciprocated by OP. Afraid of needles.
Oh, that's true.
Like, they don't even have matching tattoos. She just has 2 tattoos
for him. Is that too close, chat? Is that too close?
I know a lot of friends who have matching tattoos.
Yeah, but having a one-sided tattoo for a friendship is...
What was the tattoo?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Like, is it obviously about him?
After our son was born, she really struggled. Her emotions were all over the place, and she became extremely insecure about my relationship with my friend. I was supposed to be man of honor at my friend's wedding, help plan things, and be a big part of the ceremony, but my wife was so anxious and uncomfortable, she begged me not to attend. It made me really sad, but I chose my wife. So I told my friend I couldn't go and told her why.
Okay. That's really not fair that your wife put you in that situation.
It isn't. So I think
it's good. I understand why OP ended up choosing his wife.
I understand that. I think it's not good that your wife put you in that situation.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think it's good that you said the reason that you couldn't go was your wife to your friend.
Yeah.
I think both of those are not great.
Yeah.
Not great. Oh man. This is
not good.
This is not good. So she was really hurt by it, not angry, just really sad, but said she understood. A couple months later, my wife fully recovered and apologized to both me and my friend, which is great. That's good.
But has the wedding already passed?
I forgave her. My friend, however, didn't. When my wife reached out to my friend to apologize, my friend was polite but direct. She said she never wanted to speak to her again. Didn't yell, make a scene, just drew a boundary.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair.
I think it seems like the friend never did anything to incite suspicion, never seemingly made OP's wife
and
uncomfortable
her best
on purpose.
And her best friend in the whole world that she has 2 tattoos of.
But my question is, so did the wedding already happen?
I think the wedding already happened.
See, I would never forget. I would be like, you're coming to me now after the wedding already happened and my best friend didn't get to be my man of honor.
Yeah.
Like not just like
it would be almost
party,
like
not
if I was banned from going to your wedding by my partner.
I would never forgive that person.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's the most important person at my, what are you talking about? You think I can just forgive you just because you came around?
Yeah, I understand that, but I feel like if OP didn't say that was the reason, and maybe I don't know, gave a different reason, maybe the relationship could have been salvaged. And so I think that was a big faux pas on OP's part.
Yeah.
Honestly, I get it. It was once in a lifetime day, and she leaned on me for years, and I bailed. I still feel guilty about it. My friend and I still talk regularly, nothing inappropriate. We're just close, always have been. And recently my wife asked if there was any chance my friend would forgive her. I told her the truth. No. That ship had sailed. My wife got sort of quiet and looked sad and hasn't brought it up again. but I wonder if I was too blunt. Am I the a-hole for not giving my wife hope and just telling her forgiveness probably isn't happening? There are some comments, and there's a lot more to this story. But I think OP is the a-hole for telling his friend that the reason that he couldn't go was his wife was jealous. You never
oh yeah, my friend's hungry.
Yeah.
You know, when your parents ask you like, oh
Exactly.
you're like, oh, they're hungry. They said they're hungry when you're actually hungry. You take it. You take the bread.
Yeah, or like if your partner if you're uncomfortable with a relationship that your partner has, and your partner's like, hey, I can't hang out with you anymore. My partner's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It makes the partner like look insecure and bad in that friend's eyes. And I think it also shows like, oh, I don't want to end this relationship. It's my partner making me do it, which also doesn't show a united front.
Yeah. It's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Why are you with this person who makes all your decisions for you?
Yeah.
And then the second, so that happened. That happened. I agree with you.
And really quick, Gavin Monroe said, I'm not lying to my friend. Hot take here. I agree that like, about not lying to your friend, but Kim Roberts, as a reminder, sounds like OP. Wait, where did it say? Sounds like, where'd it go? Sorry. Lady Morgan says he shouldn't have told the friend that wife probably had PPD. No, she did have PPD.
She did have PPD.
She had postpartum depression, and that was what was making her feel insecure. And I feel like OP totally threw his wife under the bus to the friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of like she was insecure, but yeah, she had postpartum depression. Like, give her a little bit of slack.
Yeah. I think that's the first point. And the second point is I agree that OP should tell the truth to his wife. I think that the wife needs to know, she made that decision. She had that reaction because she has PPD or she had PPD. She didn't want him to be around his friend. Or you mean
the friend needs to know?
No, I think the wife, I'm saying I agree with your first point, and now I'm looking at the second point of should OP have said, there's no hope for you to be forgiven. I'm talking about that. I think she needed to know the truth because there are consequences.
Yeah.
There's an explanation to why she reacted
that
way.
Just because you have PPD doesn't excuse the behavior.
There are consequences to any behavior, even if there are explanations for that behavior.
Yeah, I do think. I wonder if OP mentioned that she had PPD.
I think he could. I think you could still attempt to help them reconcile.
It sounds like OP
But I think right now you have to tell your wife the truth because it sucks. But she made a choice. We know why she did it, but still is gonna affect this relationship.
Yeah. I would love to know what you guys think. Let us know if you disagree with us in the comments. But we do have some comments on this. So it's Purple says, asking out of genuine curiosity, how is this going to work? Is your bestie going to skip all your life milestones and celebrations on your end? Or is it expected that she will be there and your wife is uncomfortable? Is it safe to assume your bestie isn't involved in your child's life? I'm just trying to fully understand the situation. And B. Dean says, great point. Info OP, we need to know what your expectations are and how you intend to manage this friendship going forward. And one who henpecks giant says, I have a feeling he'll be there for the friend and leave the wife at home. Ivy, that is Poison, says, to be honest, I think this is your fault. Sometimes friends can't make it to weddings no matter how close. But you definitely showed that this was your wife's fault.
This is what you said.
And not your family decision to support your wife during a hard time. Your friend didn't need to know that your wife was feeling jealous and insecure, and that's the reason you couldn't go. The reason you couldn't go was that you had to be there for your family. To be honest, you painted your wife as the bad guy. You and your wife should have figured out how to have you go, whether it be a friend, stay with her, or you take pictures or whatever as a compromise. But your friend shouldn't have been aware that this was your wife's fault. But you didn't seem afraid to throw your wife under the bus. But you chose your wife on the wedding day. This tells me you weren't a good partner. Sure, you didn't go to appease your wife, but communicating that to your friend isn't being a good husband. Being a grown-up means making hard decisions, not just choosing your wife and painting her as the bad guy when things don't go your way. Not the a-hole for what you're asking, but you're not a supportive partner or friend. Being a good friend would have been showing her how important family is. Her wedding, her new family is just as important as yours. A good friend would understand that and forgive, but because you painted your wife as the bad guy, now your friend does too. This is on you. Your wife even apologized because she knew in hindsight she was wrong. Your wife is more an adult than you and your friend. And Logical Customer 1786 says, exactly, this is why I vote you're the a-hole. He let his wife take the fall while also claiming that he chose her. He begrudgingly stayed home with her because she pleaded enough. If he had been taking her PPD seriously and acknowledging it as a medical condition that it is, he wouldn't have ever let the friend blame her. Sorry, my wife won't let me come to the wedding because she is recovering from a heart attack. What a witch, right? Doesn't have quite the same ring to it. It always should have been addressed as him making the choice. I'm so sorry my wife is having medical issues since the birth of her child and just cannot leave them at the time. I really hope you understand. And then send her a big fat wedding gift / chunk of cash as a gift and move on. If friend is a real friend, they would never presume to believe their wedding was more important than the medical needs of your family. Source, me, I've been a bride and a mom and have had PPD. I know I'd been nothing but understanding as a bride in the scenario above if the party member framed it as it should have been framed. Judgment, mainly you're the a-hole, and there is an update.
I think, yeah, I think I fully agree with those both points that we made.
Yeah.
I think it's, yeah, one, shouldn't have said it was her fault, and two, you know, she does have to, unfortunately, now live with your decision to frame it as.
Nina Nilsson says, OP could have said, hey, best friend, my wife is sick and needs my help. If I can help without leaving her side, I will, but I can't have such a big part in your wedding.
Yeah, it could have been like, hey, I'll be at the wedding if your wife was okay with
Nina
that,
Nilsson.
But can't be best man, you know, or man of honor.
We have an update, so let's get into it. 5 days later. Well, I didn't expect the sheer gravity of responses I got. Reading through everyone's perspective really opened my eyes. A lot of you reminded me that my wife went through a really tough mental condition postpartum, and regardless of how much it hurt my friend, my wife doesn't deserve to be punished for it. So a couple of days ago, I had a long, honest talk with my friend. I told her that my wife and I are a package deal. And while I understood why she was so hurt and disappointed, my wife had already repented and apologized enough. I told her that if she truly valued our friendship, she needed to hash it out with my wife so we could all move forward. It was a really emotional conversation. My friend was very sad at first, and we talked a lot about the past and how things had changed. Eventually, though, she agreed. Later that day, she called my wife, apologized for holding the grudge, and accepted my wife's apology too.
Heck yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
if he just needed to have a conversation. I thought he had already had a conversation.
Yeah, it sounds like he had a conversation with the whole internet first. And then it was like, oh, maybe I should talk to these people.
She's like, wait a minute, I need to talk to her.
My wife was honestly so relieved and happy. It felt like a huge weight was lifted. By the way, you want to lift a huge weight off of your life by having entertaining stories just like this. Go to full episodes, and where you can find them is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app, and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update, and I'm going to go straight into it.
Do it.
During my talk with my friend, she also said she really misses hanging out like we did before all this marriage drama. She said she would accept the apology, but she just wants to spend more one-on-one time with me again. I accepted that and told her I appreciate her honesty and assured her that I still value our friendship deeply. She seemed really happy about it. So yeah, that's probably my final update. My wife is happy. My friend has let go of the resentment, and I feel like I finally did right by both of them. Thank you all for your advice. It really helped me see what I needed to do. We got some final comments. Arc Fireheart says, okay, so from the previous point in post, it sounds like your wife was going through postpartum, dealing with a lot of insecurity and mental illness, and she needed you at her side. Meanwhile, there's this other woman that is not your wife that has tattoos related to your bond that is very close to you. Kind of impossible for her not to feel some type of way about it deep down. Regardless of all that, your wife was going through some really horrible times, birthing your kid. Are men this incapable of realizing the toll childbirth takes on a woman's body? Because in the first post, you literally sounded like you blame your wife as well and resented her for needing to do your job as her partner. Still, she apologized to you and your friend, but your friend still held a grudge unnecessarily. Might I add, because when it came to your wife, none of it was done maliciously. You had to basically give your friend an ultimatum in order to accept your wife's apology. You do realize she wasn't going to take that apology if you didn't phrase it to her that she would lose you, right? And it's proven when, after all this, she still requested to have one-on-one time with you. Sir, you are a husband and a father. Like, are we reading the same thing? Where is the emotional maturity everyone's talking about with you? It literally took Reddit to push you to use your brain to realize as a married man and a father, you should put your wife and kid first. Your wife deserves better because what the heck is this? Just know. There's another comment, but what do we think about this? Like, do we feel like OP?
I think OP has effectively handled the situation now.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the harshness
I
of
don't
that
either.
comment. Like
I think also he was really pointing, or this comment was pointing out like, oh, well, your friend wouldn't have accepted if you hadn't made an ultimatum. It's like, okay, well, the friend doesn't have a relationship with his OP's wife.
Yeah.
Doesn't really care if she has to be friends with her OP's wife. She's doing it because she's friends with OP, and I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, and I also think like it is reasonable as a friend to want one-on-one time with that friend.
Yes, I don't think like it's suspicious just because she's a woman and he's a guy.
Yeah, and they're childhood friends.
Yeah.
They're childhood friends.
Like it is a different type of hangout when you have to hang out with two partners versus like one-on-one with your friends, you know?
I mean, I do think the tattoos are a little weird. Admittedly,
weird.
that is a little weird. I don't know if it is a massive, red flag, but it's just a little weird to me. But also, I'm someone who exists in this world without tattoos. I think actually all of us in this room don't have any tattoos, so we're not very educated on this subject. For those tattoo baddies in the chat, let me know if this is tattoo to tatties. Tatooine. I feel like what I have seen is OP came to Reddit with a problem, and it seems like he took the internet's advice to heart and rectified the situation.
And fixed it. It seems like it's fixed.
Yeah, I think he was a piece of poop earlier, and I think so was the friend, but like I think also somewhat justified. And
I agree.
And I feel, and weren't they step siblings? Yeah, they were step siblings at a point.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
They were step siblings.
So even,
Step bro.
Yeah, and Sleepy Neeb says he married his wife, not his friend. I agree, but I really think like OP has grown in this whole thing. So
yeah.
But I would love to hear like what you guys think if this is a relationship that you believe that is inappropriate. But we got a little bit more. So Good Queen Fluffin' Chop says these two are just very codependent people who are refusing to grow up and realize they now have responsibilities outside of each other that come first. For OP, it's his wife and child. For the friend, it's her and her own husband. They need therapy yesterday to actually be able to have a normal relationship. But that's the thing codependent people do. They just don't want to.
I don't agree with that.
And Short Classroom 2559, I honestly have no idea why they even married other people. This level of codependency is out there. And here just to argue, 99 says, taking bets now, he leaves wife for friend in less than a year. And Dainty Brush says they're already having an affair.
I completely disagree with those comments. Those comments have never had like a guy-girlfriend. They've never seen a guy-girl friendship. They've never had one. And they don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. These are childhood best friends. They're not codependent. They just care about their friendship. That's crazy. OP literally chose, I mean, he didn't do it right, but he chose his wife over his friend.
I also think this goes over a related issue where people believe that when you have a partner or a wife or
you're
a
not
husband,
allowed to have friends.
You need to be completely devoted to that, your family unit. And yes, you do have responsibilities to your unit. I completely agree with that. But to cut off the rest of your friends, your family, to cut off your your relationships is to make yourself an island.
Yes,
and then you're worse.
It's isolating yourself.
You're isolating yourself, and then you're worse at taking care of your wife and your kid.
It's what people like when you get into a relationship, just like without kids, and you read about stories where like that a partner starts isolating you from your friends, and you're like, wow, that's such a red flag. Why is it any different when you have a wife, kids? You know, like you shouldn't be isolated from your friends.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are priorities now because you have kids. And when you're married, but like
having one-on-one time with someone is
important,
and also going to your best friend's wedding,
it's important.
That is important. And I would understand why that would be really hard to go through. And I think OP did a bad thing and didn't give the friend enough context about why he missed the wedding.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think in general, no person is an island. No person should depend on their partner for everything. You should build relationships of multiple people. You should build your tribe.
And because if you really want, you can integrate your partners into your friend group.
You should.
I believe that. Dude, I personally,
if you can't hang, I don't think this is true universally, but at least for me, I need
it.
my partner to be able to hang out with my friends.
My partner needs to be friends with my friends.
Yeah, because then you have to choose between your partner and your friends.
I want to just everyone hang out all the time, and then sometimes I can hang out with individual people.
But that is where that episode ends.
Yep.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you, and
see you tomorrow.